you're doing well. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. And I'm here with a exhortation, an encouraging word. This has been impressed in my spirit the last couple of days, and this is the time I felt led to do this live stream. And I'm doing a live stream mostly because of the sake of time, but also my phone storage. Y'all that have been with me for a long time know that I'm notoriously bad with my phone storage because I'm constantly taking photographs and making content on my phone. So yeah, so I'm doing a live stream. This is going to wake you up if you're still asleep in the spirit. This is going to wake you up. And if you are awake, this is going to equip you and prepare you, because this is now, the time that we're in. I titled this Spiritual Warfare Squared because, again, we're in the year 7 squared. We've entered into manifestation of the spirit, and this is the year that I titled 789, Spirit, Supernatural, and Surprises. And this is when everything is going to start coming to fruition and manifesting from July through the rest of this year. So I have been feeling more and more fervor, passion in my spirit to get us ready. So with that said, Remnant bride, you know who you are. At this point, you know who you are. So when I say the word remnant bride, and in it, you leap in your spirit, you know this is you, okay? You are the part of the bride of Christ who has gone through the fire. You have been in the fire. A lot of us have. You have gone through the deep refining process that is necessary and needed to be prepared for these last days. You've already done it, or you're coming out of it, okay? This looks different for everybody. For some of us, it's been years, decades. For others of us, it's been a short time because you started recently, or you're coming out of it recently, okay? Now, this is important to understand because you, remnant bride, I'm going to speak to you first, and then I'll speak to the rest of us. God has been preparing you for the times that we're in. So you're either ready to go as I'm sharing this video, or you are in the final touches of being ready for what's here. You are the part of the bride of Christ that is ushering the rest of us, and I'm going to speak universally just so everybody feels included in what I'm saying. But if you are a remnant part of the bride, you already know this. This is not a new term for you. So remnant bride, the Lord is establishing us. I've been sharing this for probably 3 years because that's how he's been revealing it to me. The last 3 years, he's been ushering us into establishment, okay? What does this mean? This means that he is placing us, spirit, soul, and body. He's placing us, hi, welcome, good to see y'all. He's placing us into our established place in this earth realm. So there's a physical establishment that's happening. Again, for some of us, he's told us to move. And for a lot of us, it was not where we're from, Okay, and this is how God does things. Sometimes it's just, you know, I wasn't expecting this, but this is what he's called me to do. So physical, mental, emotional, which is obviously the soul realm. So he's establishing you in your soul realm, and obviously spiritually he's establishing us. Okay, so discern where you are in this. He is doing this. He has been doing this. For a lot of us who are part of the remnant, we have been feeling, we have been seeing, we've been experiencing massive changes in our life because God is, you know, establishing us. Okay, now again, part of establishment is change, transformation, moving from where I was, who I used to be, what I used to do, into God ordained me. That's the simplest way I can share this. Okay, so with that said, Remnant Bride, I'm going to declare this publicly. You are, if you're not ready, you're about to be completely ready for everything. Okay, everything that's happening out here, everything that needed or needs to be established internally, you're ready. Or God is doing the final touches in you and you're about to be ready. This is exciting because this means that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Okay, and there's nothing more peaceful than knowing I'm where I'm supposed to be. Maybe it's not easy, maybe I'm going through some issues or trials or struggles, but I know I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I have peace in my spirit, I have peace in my soul, and I have peace in my body despite what's coming at me. Okay, this is first and foremost. Now, others of you, you're starting to wake up. Hi everybody, good to see you. Thank you for the request. Yeah, email me at shesrestored@gmail.com and we can talk more about it. That would be great. Thank you. Others of you, you're starting to wake up. God is removing the scales from your eyes. He is allowing you to see spiritually what you couldn't see before. I thought I had my notification. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. Oh, it is on. Okay, sorry. A lot of you have been feeling changes, you've been sensing changes, you've been feeling like your life's about to change, or you're, sorry you guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that interruption. You've been sensing, or again, you have to discern what your spiritual gifting is. Perhaps you sense in the spirit realm, but you can't see. Or perhaps you can't sense, but you can see. This is all very personal, very tailored according to how God is connecting with you and connecting you to the world. So this is important to discern about yourself. Where am I? What is God doing in my life? So this is an encouragement for those of you that are just now waking to the spiritual reality of your own life, and then also what's actually happening in the world. This is a very daunting place to be, because you start to see things for how they actually are. God starts to give you discernment. He starts to give you wisdom. He starts to give you vision that you didn't have before, to allow you to see truth. And this is the most powerful transformation you could ever have, because once I see truth and I learn what it is, then I'm automatically empowered and equipped to discern what it is not in the earth realm. Okay, and this happens out here, it happens in your relationships, it happens in your family, it happens all like simultaneously. It's amazing. It is daunting, but this is part of your enlightening transformation, to become ready to live in the Spirit, if this makes sense. I hope this makes sense to y'all. Awesome. Welcome to, I'm so happy to have all of you. I'm so glad y'all are here. So I'm going to be reading from 1 Peter. This is the passage that I felt in my spirit to read when it comes to this understanding about the spiritual warfare that is happening for a lot of us, especially those of us that are in tune with the Spirit and we are saying yes to the Lord. Okay? This is where a lot of people want to run away from God. And this is why a lot of people do run away from God, because when you become spiritually awakened, the enemy comes after you because now you're a threat to the kingdom of darkness. Because now you have eyes to see what you couldn't see before. Okay? So he's going to come at you, and I always say this, with distractions, discouragement, and deterrence to get you off course, to get you off the path. Okay? I'm going to do a lot more teachings on this, y'all, but I do have videos if you're interested to know what that looks like. Okay? But essentially anything that takes you away from God's will and plan for your life could be a distraction, discouragement, or a deterrent. And they are coming full force. Let me tell you, they're coming full force right now. This is why I wanted to do this video, to encourage us to stay the path no matter what. No matter what. The last place you want to be is out of alignment. I'm telling you, the last place is out of alignment. Because if you're out of alignment, then everything else is just gonna fall apart. Okay, so let me read this because I want to get this shared, because I feel like he's gonna reveal a lot more right now. So okay, so this is 1 Peter chapter 4, and it is, I'm actually going to start in verse 7, and then I'm going to read through 19. Okay, so the end of all things is at hand. Therefore, be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Show hospitality to one another without grumbling. As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Whoever speaks, as one who speaks oracles of God. Whoever serves, as one who serves by the strength that God supplies, in order that in everything God may be glorified through Jesus Christ. To him belong glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you, but rejoice insofar as you share Christ's sufferings, that you may also rejoice and be glad when his glory is revealed. If you are insulted for the name of Christ, you are blessed, because the Spirit of glory and of God rests upon you. But let none of you suffer as a murderer or thief or an evildoer or as a meddler. Yet if anyone suffers as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in that name. For it is time for judgment to begin at the household of God, and it begins with us. What will be the outcome for those who do not obey the gospel of God? And if the righteous is scarcely saved, what will become of the ungodly and the sinner? Therefore, let those who suffer according to God's will entrust their souls to a faithful Creator while doing good. Okay, so there's a lot here, actually, a lot in these passages. What I want to highlight is this: the end of all things is at hand. Therefore, be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. Okay, this is verse 7. No coincidence. We're still in July. And 7 is the number of completion and perfection. The end of all things, I'm going to echo it again. The end of all things is at hand. Receive that for a minute, because that's not an easy thing to receive. The end of all things is at hand. Everything is going to change. In fact, it's been accelerating into that space of complete and total change. And this includes our lives. Okay? The end of all things is at hand. Therefore, be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayers. Okay? So again, I have self-control through the Spirit who gives me the spirit of self-control. I am sober-minded through the Spirit who is sober-minded. Okay? And again, this is connected, this has a connection to our prayer life. Okay? So, you know, a lot of people say God doesn't answer my prayers. He does answer our prayers. He answers them according to his will and according to our alignment and response to his will, if that makes sense. Let's drop down to verse 10. As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Okay, I'm going to stop there. We're stewards of God's grace. And I speak specifically to the remnant bride because we are at the end of the grace age. We're, in a sense, those of us that are the remnant, okay? The remnant meaning we are the ones who are left, who survived. I'm just going to stop there because this goes so much deeper, okay? And some of this is, you're going to receive this according to where you are. So I want to leave it in somewhat generalities for your sake, okay? But grace, we are at the end of the grace age. So what I was saying is we're some of the last voices Happy birthday to your sister, Sarah. Aww. So, Raluca Bessina, happy birthday. You're very welcome. Yes, I can do that for you. Okay, we're at the end of the grace age. So, this means that we are to carry as stewards of this grace. You'll have to understand, like, we're so privileged to be in this time, even though these times are scary, they're daunting, they're beyond us, and they're going to get much worse. We are still in the grace age, and we have the gifts of grace to give to the world, especially if you're awake, you're spiritually in tune. You know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And some of you are coming into this place where you're going to do this. Use it to serve one another. Serve one another. I'm here to serve, okay? I serve you by the gifts that I've been given from the Father, okay? My spiritual gifts, my earthly gifts, talents, you know, and of course this manifests in my calling, which is She's Restored. I'm here to help you on your inner healing journey. I'm here to mentor you spiritually. I'm here to help you become the artist that God has created you to be, to guide you into that, to show you what vision is. There's so many facets to what I do to serve one another. What do you do to serve one another, to serve others? If you don't know, this is the time. This is the time to know this, because it is through your gifting and through the grace that God has given you that you're... Okay, I'm back. Sorry. It's the internet probably. But you're going to help humanity heal. You're going to help humanity heal. And you're preparing humanity for the worst time on earth. Okay? So I'm actually going backwards now. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Okay, love. Y'all who've been with me for a while, you know I love love. I love love. Love is all. Love is everything. If you don't know what love is, you need to. Because once you have the revelation of love, and I mean the true love from the Father himself, who is love, you receive it for yourself, then you can pour it into others, okay? And then you can recognize what true love is versus what it isn't. Let me see if I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, y'all. I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb, but I keep getting calls. So I apologize for all the interruptions. Hopefully it's just like a little glitch, and then I'm back whenever you're watching this on the replay. Whoever serves as one who serves by the strength that God supplies. So it's right here, it's just talking about specific areas that you can serve. Let's drop down to verse 12. Okay, y'all, I'm going to stop here for a minute because numbers speak so loudly. This is 1 Peter 4. 4 is the number of earth. And verse 12. 12 is the number of establishment. Okay, so this is powerful. This is so... This is exactly why I'm doing this video. Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. At first, like I say, some of you are coming into this space of spiritual awakening, and it's gonna feel weird, strange, like what is going on? Why is this happening to me? Why are people acting weird? Do I not see things the way I used to? It's strange, okay? But it is an encouragement to let us know, don't be surprised. This is what to expect. Expect trials. Expect things coming to test us. As though something strange were happening to us. Sorry, y'all, I do have a knock at the door. Just bear with me one quick second. I'll be right back. Ask me any questions if you have any. Hello? Sorry, y'all. I don't know. I had a knock on the door, but I'm not sure. They were gone by the time I got over there. See all these interruptions? This is a powerful word that I'm sharing. Distractions. Distractions. The enemy's trying to distract me from sharing. But by the grace of God, I'm staying steadfast because this word needs to be shared with y'all. Y'all need to be ready, okay? So let's continue. But rejoice insofar as you share Christ's sufferings, that you may also rejoice and be glad when his glory is revealed. In other words, there's a peace in knowing that even in my suffering, God's glory is being revealed because he's refining me through the test, through the trials. A lot of times, and this is going into the spiritual warfare aspect of this, the enemy will come against me when God is bringing me higher. Because again, he wants me to doubt God. He wants me to forfeit the plan and purpose God has for me. A lot of you fell for this. And I want to say specifically in 2021, you heard the Lord, you knew God was saying, I want you going here, I want you doing this, I'm leading you. But there was still something in you that was resistance, that didn't want to yield to the Father, to the refining process, to the process of transformation into your new life. And it came in all forms. Maybe it came as a distraction. Maybe it came as discouragement. It really, only you know that, actually. And at this point, you should know that. That was 4 years ago. But the Lord is also merciful, okay? He's giving us more time to get into alignment. And he will be glorified. He'll be glorified. Trust me. And I'm thankful that I can say this right now, because a lot of us understand this. A lot of us have been publicly humiliated in our suffering for Christ. Okay? We've had a lot of meddlers, as the word was saying. We've had a lot of gossipers, wagging fingers, because they didn't understand, because they didn't have the spiritual foresight or insight to understand what God is doing in our life. Okay? You know who you are. You know who you are. But it was a test. And it wasn't just a test for you. It was a test for them. It was a test for the people that you thought I can count on. But again, the Lord has to refine all of us. And those of us who did not yield to the process of refinement thus far, it's your turn to be refined. Because as the Lord told me back in 2014, and it was actually July 2014, all will be refined. Okay? You're either going to be refined because he wants you whole. He wants none of us to perish. So we're either going to be refined willingly, like we're going to yield to his spirit and say yes, or we're going to be refined during the worst time on earth. This is your moment to choose, if you haven't already. Okay, I know that's heavy, y'all, but I have to say it. I have to echo it. Okay, where were we? Okay, verse 14. Some of us need to hear this. If you are insulted for the name of Christ, you are blessed. Okay? Let them say what they need to say. Let them talk about you. Let them think you're a fool. Let them talk. If you're insulted, you're blessed. Because you are in the palm of his hand now. Okay? For a lot of us, the plan and the path God had didn't make any sense. Maybe to you, even to you, it didn't make any sense. And you had to ask God over and over, Lord, am I hearing right? Is this where you're telling me to go? Is this what you're telling me to do? But I'm telling you, live testimony, and I'm telling you from experience, you are safe in the ridiculous plan that God has for you. Safer than playing it safe for the sake of everyone else thinking you're doing the right thing in your life. Okay, rewind this if you need to. If you're insulted, you're blessed. In fact, those of us that were reproached for choosing God's path, He's about to overwhelm us with, this is why I chose this path for you. Remnant, you know who you are. Because the Spirit of glory and of God rests upon you. Let none of you suffer as a murderer, or a thief, or an evildoer, or as a meddler. Okay, there's a reason there's these 4 that he's listed. And I'll let you study it, seek understanding on that, revelation on that. Yet if anyone suffers as a Christian or follower of Christ, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in that name. For it is time for judgment to begin in the household of God. Okay. We have, again, we're at the end of the grace age. This means that time is short before time is no more. Okay? I might get into that more later, but the encouragement here is spiritual warfare squared, meaning it's heightened, it's elevated, because for a lot of us, God is elevating us in this earth realm. He's taking us into the kingdom assignments, purpose, and calling that He has ordained for you. If you are not sure how to discern that, how to figure that out, I am here for one-to-one sessions. I'm here for mentoring, coaching, anything you need, reach out to me. My links are in the description in this video and on my channel. And I'd be happy to pray with you, to help you find your vision for your life, because it's so important that you know what that is so that you can be ready for these times if you're not. And if you are, it's about to get exciting, it's about to get abundant, and it's a beautiful time. But this is an encouragement to be ready, to get ready. Hope y'all are doing well. Thanks for all the love, support, comments, questions. Feel free to donate to my channel if you feel blessed by it, and feel free to reach out if y'all need anything. Okay, love y'all, and I will be back soon. I don't know how soon. I didn't expect to do this video, but he speaks and I say yes. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.